First up at 4:30, ICE raids are prompting a policy change in our Connecticut courthouses. Beginning today, law enforcement officers will not be able to wear masks inside a state court. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Eyewitness News. I'm Kara Sundlin. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, is live now in the studio with more on the mixed reaction to this policy change. Susan?
Kara, there is definitely mixed reaction. This policy, however, is already in place in federal courthouses, but it is now being extended to our state courthouses. This is in direct response to those ICE raids. This is what's happening in communities across the state and the country. Last month, Immigration and Customs Enforcement led a large-scale operation. ICE arrested 65 people at courthouses in Danbury, Stamford, and Norwalk in a 4-day span. In many cases, ICE agents are masked and can be unidentifiable. Today, a new policy in state courthouses is taking effect. No masks will be allowed unless medically necessary. Governor Lamont, the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court, and the chair of the legislature's Judiciary Committee say people need to feel safe when they come to court. However, Republican lawmakers say this policy is political theater.
Judges, staff, litigants, members of the public, they all must be able to conduct their business in our courthouses without fear of disruption. The due administration of justice requires that courthouse security be protected. I'm issuing this policy today to ensure that law enforcement activity in our courthouses is consistent with these principles while ensuring that law enforcement officers can discharge their duties.
There's a long tradition of law enforcement being undercover and not being exposed. So that's not a foreign concept for the safety of those officers and their family, especially in an age where doxing has become a real problem.
Republican lawmakers say Democrats should respect law enforcement, and they also feel that this policy will be hard to enforce. Now, Governor Lamont says we must also respect those who enter our courts so that they won't be afraid. And again, the only exception to this policy is if there is a medical necessity. Several surrounding states like New York and Massachusetts, and in addition to Colorado, have similar policies. Live in the studio, your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Susan.